Let's get professional. I'm a professional. I do professional things in many professional ways. Many smart people. I am winter adult man who does business and video games. Alright, welcome back. We've got Snute's replay of the month. His favorite game. And some of these, in fact, many of these he has lost. But he can appreciate a good game. So, of course, in the bottom right, we have Liquid.Snute. And we have the notorious, the illustrious from... they don't have a clan decal there. So, Phi SC. I think that's Prophecy. Prophecy SC. It's Guru, the European Zerg player who you see getting pretty damn far in qualifiers and tournaments, but never quite breaking all the way out. But I'm going to give you a spoiler. This is the only spoiler I have as well. It's entitled ZvZ, Zerg versus Zerg Mess. So there are a lot of things that could be described. Just ZvZ in general can usually be described as a mess. So when you have a professional Zerg player describing it as a mess, you best believe it's going to be getting sloppy. Because there are so many opportunities for things to go wrong in ZvZ and just things to go sideways. So it looks like we're going to have a hatch first on either side. No shenanigans early. No 13-12, no 14-14. We're talking about the gas pull timings. Both opting... It is Ascension to Ire, which is a relatively long rush distance as well. So you don't get that information with your overlords, but you also can't get your Zerglings across the map as quickly. That doesn't mean you don't see cheeses on here. But it's a little bit of a rock, paper, scissors. It's not just confined to a rock, paper, scissors in ZvZ. But, for example, if you are guaranteed your opponent is going to go for a hatch first.
Your dedication
Thank you for that,
rewarded.
Guaranteed, 100%. Then if you do a 14-14, just massive Ling play, it's very likely to win, because there's just, the numbers aren't there, nothing's there to defend it if you play it right. But you don't have perfect information. Either of these players might go for an earlier pull, and if you do go for that more all-in play, and you catch your opponent and they're just playing safe, well, guess what? You're way behind, and you just kind of lose. So a lot of players will default kind of to the hatch first, with speed, getting 3 hatcheries, and then just kind of easing into the Ling Bane without worrying about early Zerglings. Now, interesting here, Snute has made no Zerglings. He's confirmed, well, on both sides, we've confirmed that hatch first is on the way. They see the creep from the hatches. They don't need to see the hatches themselves, but it looks like they did. Guru did not. And going for the pretty quick 3 hatch. So this means it's kind of... It's not like you can't pressure this. But it's going to come down to a little bit of Ling Bane dancing. And then customarily, we're going to transition into roaches. The reason you have to go for the Ling Bane early is it's really the only thing that can defend both your third and your second base at the same time. You can't just go straight for roaches and get a third base, because if they make 30-40 speedlings, they can run circles around you. So we're getting into the Ling Bane phase of the game. Now, what we're watching for after this, Roach Warren, and then maybe any upgrades or lair. But Roach Warren is when a player feels comfortable enough that they can transition their tech, or do not feel they're going to win with some sort of Ling Bane all-in. Snute, ooh, this is pretty big. He gets into the main base, he sees the gases, he sees the production, he sees the banelings on the way, he sees the drone count. So full information here for Snute. He knows everything he needs to know. Thank you very much. And that's going to really help him out making the decision. Do I just get... We have an evolution chamber for Snute, and then an evolution chamber for Guru here. Snute able, as in typical Snute style, to sneak out a few more drones early. Remember, he didn't make those 2-4 Zerglings early on. And yes, 1 or 2 drones does matter when you're players of this caliber in a matchup this precise. Now, remember, the game is entitled ZvZ Mess, so it's not going to be precise. But at this stage of the game, both these players are essentially playing perfect. They're not missing any overlords, they're getting their injects, they're not overmaking lings or drones, they're getting exactly what they need and no less. And getting as much information as possible. which is why they've both done a little bit of scouting with those speedlings. You can't really stop that early on. And have realized that going for a Ling Bane all-in is a gamble that they don't want to take. So a lair on either side, 1-1 on either side. The only units lost so far, 2 Lings on either side. They call it a mirror matchup for a reason, but ooh, Snute baiting out 2 Banelings. Probably not going to open up an opportunity here, but a nice little victory. And Snute already going for a 4th. Okay, this is getting to be one of the greediest ZvZs I've ever seen. We're both going up to 60 drones without really even attacking. Okay, this is getting out of hand. Now, once again, because at this level, players just don't make mistakes. They don't let a Baneling kill drones or 20 Lings. They don't let that happen 99 times out of 100. Which is why both these players, in respect to the other, are just simply not doing that. As Snute makes 2 Banelings in his main. He knows that's not going to work. But gets in with a few Lings. There you go. Little opportunities, because behind this, we're building up the roaches. Once again, Snute. I mean, a tiny bit. We're going up 60 plus. Over 60 drones is very high economy in ZvZ. This is pretty uncommon to see, as both players look for timings, are forced to make units. This is, I think I might be accurate in saying, the most straight macro ZvZ I have ever seen. Just in general. We've gone 6 minutes. There's been no real exchanges. 3 roaches are going to come out. But Guru already has just enough roaches, a couple Ravagers to maybe take out some Ovies. And is going towards a Hydra Den. We're both at 70 drones apiece. Is this a no-rush 10-minute game? I don't... But this is one of the most macro-oriented... Probably the most macro-oriented ZvZ I've seen in the recent past. Look at Snute's map vision, by the way. Look at his overlords. I mean, those are all Ravager targets, but... Is there any way Guru's getting out of that base? Absolutely not. Guru, on the other hand, has very little vision. But when he does have vision, it's in key points where those units have to come out. And like here, where he scouts a huge group of roaches going towards the north. Snute's vision is disgustingly good right now. I'm surprised the Ravagers aren't trying to take that out. Oh, he does have speed. Both players have speed for their Ovies. It's actually incredibly hard to hit Ovies with speed. So, those will actually stay alive. He can just chase the Ravager. You can't stop them. Lurker Den is on the way. He didn't even go for the muscular augments. He only wants Hydras for the Lurkers. Otherwise, they're kind of a liability. Snute is up to 168. We're under 8 minutes, and we're approaching a max out. But, still. Very well, it's not passive is the thing. This is a Cold War right here. We're both building up. We're building our tech. And we have very similar tech and economies. But you don't actually want to attack, because an attack will be devastating for both sides, and probably you as the aggressor will come out behind. Snute gonna get shut down. There is no Overseer, though, so he's able to burrow the roaches. There is... Oh, burrow move completes just at that moment. I wasn't paying attention to that. But we've got roaches in the top left. The spines aren't quite done yet. We've got the biggest group in the front. The roaches are actually drawing the army of Guru back. This means Snute's going to be able to move into position. He catches some more roaches out. Snute doing a good job so far. But Guru with more roaches on the way. Everything's cleaned up. The fourth base is under attack. He's going to be able to kill some of these drones, but Guru maybe has a couple too many anyways. Well, roaches are trying to come up to the front. It's 2-1 upgrades against 2, just +2 attack. Guru kind of skipped the +1 Carapace in favor of getting a very quick Lurker Den so far. Snute does not have his Hydra Den finished or his Infestation Pit, but they're all on the way. He has a little bit of an upgrade advantage, and he has the initiative because he's cleared the vision off the map. And right now, Guru can't really know where his army is. He has to play defensive. Until those Lurkers come out, it's very difficult for Guru to hold on to all his locations at once against these Burrow Move Roaches. Some more coming out. He's able to target down one of the Lurkers right off the bat. The other one goes straight into the Roaches and Ravagers. The top flank is being won by Guru. He comes in, tries to snipe the Ravager backline. At the same time, Snute is moving forward. A few Corrosive Bowels come out. They will connect. It looks like Snute is thinning out here, but he might have the forces Another corrosive bow comes through, but remember, that rally point for Guru is going to be coming out in just a few seconds. The reinforcements will be here, and Snute will be forced to retreat, despite looking like he's going to win this fight by a thin margin. Alright, the corrosive bows come out. He might be able to snipe out another queen, but no, the reinforcements pop. And Snute will be forced into retreat, taking a good trade, but not a great one. Getting the lurkers initially, making it so there are none on the field. And just trading out with roaches against roaches, lurkers, and queens and all of that. But he's at 80 drones. His opponent is at 73. This really, it looked dramatic, but this doesn't really change anything. Right now, Snute still has map control with the burrow move. He still has the initiative, but Guru is building the higher tech. He's got the lurkers on the way. He's got the... Well, actually, that's Snute's hive. I take it back. He doesn't have the hive. The infestation pit is a bit on the slow side. Guru making a ton of spine crawlers because he knows Snute could hit any of these locations, whereas if you're going for lurkers, then you need to have your army all together. Lurkers don't work well on their own. They need support. They need something to help them push through the front. If you can't do that, then why did you go lurkers at all? So Guru is trying to put that all together. There are a few shark roaches coming through. Nothing too dramatic. He doesn't actually have spore crawlers, but I guess once they pop up, the spines will help out enough. I never thought about that. You don't truly need spore crawlers as long as you have the spines. I guess that's not really true. That was pretty dumb. But he's going for that now. There's a 4 roach drop happening. This is... I mean, it's happening. If he can snipe queens, that's a lot of production gone. The Hydras come back. He's able to take this out. The upgrade's 2-2 for Snute, +2 for Guru. We got lurkers on either side. And now the dance begins. Once again, we're back to the Cold War. As the exchange was had here, but no economic damage truly to either side. No tech or infrastructure damage, just brawling it out. Which means Snute is in a comfortable position. He's on 5 bases. He's got a hive done. But he has no hive tech. Vipers could be incredible. But he's maxed out. He actually needs to get rid of some supply. Oh, this choke point is absolutely asphyxiating. Guru once again on the back foot, but there are lurkers on the high ground. He ain't going through this. Oh, shredding through. The lurkers eviscerate an entire group of roaches with no losses. And that means Snute no longer has the option for multi-pronged attacks and has to regroup, consolidate his forces, and try again somewhere else. That is... You are not fighting that. 3-3 is on the way. Will Snute choose some Vipers? Will we see Broodlords? There's another roach drop coming in. Snute is not maxed out. He's still trying to take good exchanges. Lurkers could be caught morphing. That's too many roaches on the right side. Lurkers are going all the way up to the top, the north. He's committing a lot of lurkers to this exchange. There's no detection over here, though, for Guru. This lurker will hold for now. The lurkers in position. Snute abandons them a little too early. He was almost at the point. He almost killed all the lurkers before they burrowed. But he's working out the main. Snute a little out of position. Oh, no. This hurts. Now he's actually losing meaningful drones. He doesn't have that much gas in the bank. 21 drones have been killed. Snute immediately remaking them. 4 Vipers on the way. Those couple lurkers dragged his entire army back across. And Guru feels the space open up as he's able to move these armies back and forth. If Snute is on the back foot, then he's in a good position because now he's the one tacking up to his hive. He's getting digging claws for his lurkers. I've never seen this used in a real game. There's a lot of firsts here. But that allows the lurkers to burrow 3 times as fast and move like speed demons on creep. Oh, has Snute forgot about this upgrade? Like, honestly, he may have. It was just added with the last balance patch. Adaptive talents. The digging claws. Well, it says digging claws and then it says adaptive talents here. Figure your shit out. But Snute getting overrun with the lurkers here, but he's got a lot of reinforcements on the way. He still has a lot of army. This lurker concave is absolutely disgusting. But the blinding clouds come out at the last second. He still has a couple more. The lurker should win the fight. He yanks them in. He slices them up, and he dices them down. It unburrows them as well. Snute will hold. The Vipers coming in clutch just in time. There's still a couple over here to mess with, but Snute holds on. He's got the 3-3 upgrades done. That's a big part of this. I wonder if he'll realize about the adaptive talents very soon. Some Vipers on the way for Guru. As, once again, despite the exchanges here, no real economic damage. Snute lost a few drones, but immediately Guru's at 90 drones, and that's a bit high. That might actually be too many drones, because his army just simply won't be large. Thank you.
Happy New
And welcome
Year,
back.
Rosie.
Glad you still enjoy.
Here's to another year of that dirty esports money. Less than 3.
Every year's a good year with dirty esports money. But a greater Spire's on the way. The ultimate counter to the Lurkers are the Broodlords. They both draw the Lurker fire onto the Broodlings, and of course, Lurkers can't hit air. They're one weakness. Imagine. No, I don't want to. Some Changelings on either side to get vision. There are so many Changelings, it's actually very difficult to deal with them all. It's just safety in numbers at this point. Alright, so we're both maxed out. Snute's got a little bit more gas in the bank especially. He's got the Greater Spire on the way, whereas the Spire for Guru just started. So he has the tech advantage, and somehow he's moved along this entire path. He catches the Spine Crawlers. Guru's out of position. Where are his Vipers? A Blinding Cloud hits all of these Lurkers on the front flank. The Roach Hydra is very well. Another Blinding Cloud! All of the Lurkers again! Snute is losing all his Lurkers. He's losing most of these flanks here. He's reinforcing immediately. 19 more Roaches. A couple Lurkers are holding. He can target them down. He will eventually take them out. The upgrades were even this entire time. And a beautiful engage. Once again, Vipers coming into play as Snute is desperately trying to move through. But that definitely was a failed attack. What looked to be a good position immediately got turned around by those Blinding Clouds. The Changelings being taken out. It's a whole effort. 10 Corruptors on the way. Snute going to Broods. Where are they? He needs them now, though. Guru is on the counterattack. He has the Vipers. He still has Lurkers of his own. He's down to... He actually only has 2, which is maybe not enough. The Broodlords can be yanked into the Hydras. Or parasitic bombed. But the Vipers don't have that easy of a counter. It really just depends on the numbers. Broodlord Lurker is the ultimate siege. Some Blinding Clouds come out. He yanks the Lurkers in. He knocks them down. More Broodlords on the way. A couple parasitic bombs could be nice, but I don't think he has the energy. He does not have the energy on the Vipers. Guru looking for a good flank. Now, because of this, Guru's army is now easier to move around. He's in a better position to just be able to outmaneuver Snute. Snute has to make up for that with the sheer strength of his own army. Some Blinding Clouds come out. One Broodlord is yanked in. He doesn't have enough hooks right now. As Changelings litter the map. The Tunneling Claws Roaches, fun fact, they burrow. When they burrow, they heal faster. Significantly faster, like way faster. So he burrows his Roaches after the fight to get them back into fighting shape. We have Vipers on either side as we've made our way up the entirety of the tech tree here, essentially. Snute with this very big, bulky army. He's got 9 Broodlords. He's 4 Vipers, 23 Roaches, a handful of Hydras, and a Lurker somewhere. It's right here. Whereas Guru, on the other hand, still has 87 drones, which in a mirror match... Ooh, a nice Parasitic Bomb. Trying to do some splash damage, but Corruptors are pretty tanky units. Another Parasitic Bomb. He's just eating all of it. The bombs are ruining all the Corruptors. He's still flying into it. All the Corruptors dying. Snute. Just landing everything there. Guru just kind of losing track of his units. And lose all of his Corruptors, some of his Vipers. And find himself pushed back once again. He does not have Broodlords of his own. I think Guru was microing some Roaches over here and trying to split them up, but he wasn't really paying attention to the fight in the middle. Now, Snute has still forgotten Digging Claws. He still hasn't gotten the Lurker Burrow upgrade. Now, I mean, that's not necessarily the end of the world, but it could factor in if the fight's close enough. If it comes down to who gets the first wave of spines, that could be the difference between a win and a loss. Now, Snute doesn't have much money in the bank. Guru does. He has had that superior drone count. Snute has had the better army, but he hasn't been able to use it to push into any meaningful position. He's made it halfway across the map, but no further. Guru holds over and over, and if he has that money, he can continue to trade, and eventually, those trades will result in a victory. The Corruptors, now the tables are turned. He finds the Broodlords. There's no real anti-air. He can just target down the Broods. Guru is just bashing through. He is supply blocked. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but it seems like he lost a ton of Overlords, and this is possibly the saving grace for Snute. If Guru could immediately remax right now, Snute does not have the money to do so. But Guru lost a bunch, I believe Overseers were taken out. And that means he can't rebuild his army immediately before Snute is able to rebuild his defenses. So a critical mistake out of Guru, not realizing that supply block was coming through. And that might be a knockout blow, because Snute, he has good income, but Guru had the position if he had the reinforcements. Oh, this is happening. A caustic spray attempt, not going to be good enough. But Snute will hold on, he'll be able to rebuild. And Guru, by the time he gets all his reinforcements together, will not have that superior force he wanted to push through with. And remember, once again, Guru has built a spine forest, finally realizing, well, finally choosing to get rid of some of those drones. The Corruptors are still a menace in the main base. This will actually bring Snoot's supply down. These players aren't over-making Overlords. They make just enough. They don't overdo it. But no. 2 Lurkers here. He lost his Overseers, so he's actually forced back on just 2 Lurkers. And Snute will be mining. Are we going to mine out Ascension to Ire? Come on, not... No. There's a single-digit number of times I've seen this. And by single-digit, I mean like 3. Maybe that's not the place the Corruptors wanted to be. But we're starting to get air upgrades as well. We're 22 minutes in with no sign of ending. Guru has a lot of minerals in the bank, but it's all about the gas now. What are you going to make, Zerglings? Alright, 1 Lurker in the front. The Overseers are coming in. He will split against it, immediately destroy. There's a random muta. There is no longer a random muta. Snoot's army comes down. There was a Viper in the mix here. Snoot's got his own. A good blinding cloud makes it so none of those units can attack. And Guru will be beaten back. A bit of an ill-fated attack there. I'm not sure what he expected to do with no Vipers, no Lurkers, and no Broodlords against an army that had any of the above. But I take it back. Guru is actually making the Zerglings. Did he get any melee upgrades? He did not. No adrenal glands, even. But I mean, he's got minerals. He doesn't have gas. He's making Zerglings. Who knows? A bit of Roach Hydra is split off, looking for an opportunity at this base. It will not. They will not find one. And now they're about to be cornered. They have to go through the spines. But the spines will break their back. That does drag the units out of position, but it's just Zerglings coming through the center. And the final bases on the map are looking to be mined from. Ooh, a parasitic bomb comes out, but it will cost the Viper. It's on the Overseer. So not really getting what he wanted. In the front of the map, we've got some units caught out. Snute fighting on 2 fronts, losing on 2 fronts. The Broodlords will hold for now, but the Corruptors will be able to find them. There are not that many Hydras underneath. These can definitely go down. What are the air upgrades? We have +2 for Snute, nothing for Guru. And suddenly his Corruptors are caught a little bit out of position. How many Broodlords will be able to get? Looks like the answer is not enough. Guru still with minerals and some gas in the bank, but he needs to spend it. Snute, wait, Snute is taking this base. Okay, never mind. I thought that was the other way. Snute is taking the 2 key center bases. If this actually mines out, Snute will have a full additional base of minerals, and he has been more cost efficient thus far. So, is there any way Guru lets him hold on to this? And remember, Snute is not in a position to win the game. Snute is not in a position to fight into a defensive army. There's been some bad fights here for Guru. He's thrown away some units, but he's rebuilt the complexity of his army. He's getting more broodlords. No vipers. Could be a defining factor. Or just the sheer army supply might make the difference. We'll see. But Guru is building the spine defense. He doesn't want to have to commit units to these positions in the corners of the map. Why would you want to put them down there when they could be fighting in the fight? So the spine crawlers are the stopgap, quite literally. He will get the lurker. It will try to retreat. Still no digging claws out of Snute, or adaptive talons, whichever Blizzard decides it is on that day. But still no quick lurker burrow or lurker speed, and that might be a critical mistake out of Snute. Being able to move these lurkers around, of which he no longer has any, could have helped. But I think critical mistake was a bit of an overstatement. I think a mistake, but not a critical one, is more accurate. As somehow, despite all of this, I'm not even sure. I don't know if I've ever played a game like this. I've watched them, mostly from Snute, but I don't even know what it is Snute's doing quite so well that is allowing him to be maxed out with money in the bank and expanding, despite the fact all of this has happened. But it is. And every ounce of minerals and every pint of gas, which I assume are the measurement methods, is going to put Snute in the lead from here on out. He's got money in the bank. He's got gas in the bank. The more he can buy time and the more he can mine from these bases. This one was canceled and forced to be restarted. He's using his Vipers. We haven't seen any Infestors used thus far. But, it's looking like so many of these games very slowly like a Snute victory. We're still a long way off if these Vipers just die. If the Broodlords get a good angle. But does Guru does not know about this base. Nobody expects this base. Oh, the Yanks! He pulls the Broods in and he shoots, but the Blinding Clouds for the counter. Blinding Clouds on either side. No one can see. Viper's going down. Did he just yank a Broodling? I believe he did, but he yanks a Viper as well. Who came out of that better of that exchange? It looked pretty okay for Guru. Snute is driven back, but the Broodlords are starting to siege, and Spine Crawlers can't quite reach that far. Yeah, Guru has no idea this base is taken. The Spore Crawlers, Snute is playing for the end game here. He's playing for a mine out of minerals. He's got the ranged attack upgrades. He's relying on Vipers. Guru's taking this bottom base. He can't really give up. There's still some gas to be mined. We're getting to the point where we're counting the resources. Snipe some Corruptors. Guru cannot afford to lose this much gas, but lose it he will. The entire ground army is out of position. Guru is forced into total retreat. The spines were softened up by the Broods, and the Roach Hydra will grind through the rest. And this is critical mining here. He's mining out of almost everything else. This is the only fresh base here for Guru. He does not have gas in the bank. He is not maxed out. Snute is making the moves he needs for victory. We finally gotten there. This is past the late game. This is the end game. And Snute is possibly the best Zerg player in the world at the end game. Almost certainly outside of Korea. But Guru still has a ton of supply. It's 123 to 139 army supply. That's a lot of Broodlords. And Snute doesn't have that many Corruptors. Broodlords are grinding through. Where are the Vipers? A lot of full energy Vipers, but the ground army isn't here quite yet. The pulls in. He gets the Overseer. Not sure how much that is worth. The Parasitic Bombs on the Vipers, doing a pretty great job. The Blinding Cloud not doing that much. Guru got some more Vipers coming in. Unfortunately, they go straight into the fray. The Parasitic Bombs, all of the Broods, they're imploding as we speak. They're at so low HP. Guru dropping heavily in supply. But most of these Broods survive, and there are no units close enough to actually kill them. He's going to take another one of Snute's bases. That's a lot of Broodlords right there. He can use the high ground. He will have it in a moment. Those are badly bruised Broodlords. He micros them back, throws the Broodling strike. But he's not struck out quite yet. But as these trades continue, Snute is just... well, that was a very tentative win there for Guru. He got the base. He kept his army, but he lost several Vipers. He's out of gas. The Corruptors are coming in for the snipes. Oh god, he's got so many! And the Broodlords of Snute return the favor. Guru ran out of... He lost all his Corruptors in the middle of the map. The broodling on broodling action is hot and heavy. He's forced to pull the drones out of this base. This is Guru's only real fresh base. Are the parasitic bombs there? Oh, a beautiful one right in the middle. Right on the middle, Broodlord. That's gonna kill another one, maybe two. The Corruptors come in. Snute under the bottom with the roaches. He's got the Corruptors as well. He's ground his way through. There was one base left. Guru no longer wants to be in this game anymore. What looked like? Well, I can't ever say that Snute was behind in the game. I mean, there were some points where it looked like Guru had map control. It looked like he had a tentative hold throughout the game. There were some mistakes out of Guru as well. But as we got further and deeper into the end game, we just see Snute's late game Viper and Corruptor and just basic unit control, and his decision making came to bring him the victory.
Your dedication will be rewarded.
And I think when he said ZvZ Mess as the name of the game, well, he wasn't wrong. That was maybe the most macro-oriented ZvZ I've seen in a long while. But Snute once again comes out. It's not one battle to win the war. It's a lot of tiny battles that eventually result in the war just simply being over. So, Snute really using those Vipers incredibly well, investing in the upgrades early so they paid off later, and keeping map control so he could get there. Means that Guru... It looked like he had a few opportunities. It looked like he had a couple chances to break out. But eventually Snute just locked it down near the end. So, GG. That was a good game.